first state in Australia to pass euthanasia laws. This morning their parliament passed a voluntary assisted dying bill through the lower house after a marathon 26-hour debate. The final vote was 47 to 37. So we're going to discuss this further now with Greens MP Robin Chapple, a long-time advocate of euthanasia. Welcome, Robin.
Thank you very much.
Now, what's your reaction to the bill being passed in Victoria?
Look, I think it was obviously a very long debate. I wouldn't have wanted to be in that one, that was for sure. It's a step for progressive politics. It's a step for compassion. I think it's a great outcome. Obviously, we've still got to go through the upper house. That, my understanding, will take place next week. One expects to have a similarly long debate up there. The information that I have would indicate that it most probably will pass the upper house, so Victoria will be the first state to have voluntary euthanasia legislation. We have to remember that previously the Northern Territory had legislation, but that was ruled out by the federal government.
Given that they were a territory and not a state.
That's
so
correct.
Where are we at here in WA with regards to euthanasia?
Look, I've introduced legislation twice, once in 2002 and again in 2009. Both failed. They failed by reasonable amounts, but we've now got a committee of inquiry looking at end-of-life choices. That will report next year. I'm not making any comment on that because I'm part of that committee. One would assume that at some stage after that, someone, a party, an individual, may attempt to introduce legislation again. But it's a long road, and the inquiry is a very valid approach to looking at the issues.
So the possibility of any legislation here won't happen until probably at least next year or further?
Yes, and look, quite clearly we're all going to wait for the outcome of the inquiry. Everybody will evaluate that, and then we'll look at whether I have another go or someone else does.
Okay. Robin Chapple, that's all we have time for this afternoon, but thanks for coming in.
Pleasure.
And we've asked our Facebook followers their thoughts on euthanasia today. Our question, do you think WA should legalise euthanasia? We received an overwhelming amount of yes comments. Michael Reid says yes, people have the right to death just as they have the right to life. Samantha Isaacs wrote, it has always baffled me how we take better care of our animals than our elders and those in long-term suffering. And Marie Ford thinks people suffering should be able to die with dignity when it's time. You can still have your say. Just go to the 9 News Perth Facebook page. Now, house prices in Perth are at the lowest they've been this